Hi, welcome back to Taronga TV. I'm with Danielle. She is a carnivore keeper, and we're with a really beautiful, unique, unusual animal that you probably, if you've been to the zoo before, you might have just walked past this exhibit and he might have been right up high in the trees. We're going to have a little close look in this house here, and Dan, you're going to tell us what we are looking at here.
Today we're looking at Emmis, our Binturong. He is the absolute best animal in the whole entire zoo. I am so not biased here. Emmis is 21 years old, which is quite old for a Binturong. In the wild, we're not exactly sure how long they live because they're not very well studied.
Yeah.
But in care, around 24 is the maximum for a Binturong. So he's getting on in age, and this is how he likes to spend his time, resting.
He's really unusual looking, isn't he? So can you describe, because it's a little bit dark there, but could you describe what he looks like and what his physiology is?
So Binturong are also known as bearcats. So some people think they have a head that looks a bit like a cat, a body that looks like a bear, and a tail that looks a bit like a monkey. So that's where they get the name bearcat. He's quite unique with the long, coarse coat that he has. And his prehensile tail is one of his very unique adaptations. He's one of the only two carnivores that have a prehensile tail, the other one being a kinkajou. And he'll use this tail as he's climbing up the tree. He can hang upside down from it. He can use it to steady himself. It's quite amazing to actually watch him use his tail. And if I was to have an edible adaptation, I don't want wings, I don't want a trunk, I would love to have a prehensile tail.
Prehensile tail.
Yep.
Can you explain to everyone what a prehensile tail is?
So a prehensile tail is just like having a fifth limb. So it's like having another hand, and that's pretty much what they can use it for. So just imagine an arm or a hand coming off there, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's really nifty.
Now, arboreal, spends predominantly most of his life in trees, chasing the sun, and they've got a really unusual sort of habit, day and night. They're active all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they don't have a set activity pattern. They just move around when they feel like it. They do whatever they want to, whenever they like. It's a pretty cruisy life for a Binturong in the fact that they're not like tigers. A tiger is crepuscular, so they're active early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and they sleep in the middle of the day to conserve energy. Meerkats, diurnal, active all day, sleep at night like us. Binturong, whenever they feel like it. So with Emmis, you might find him in his house. He might be going up the tree, and when he does go up that fig tree, he actually has a really cool way of getting up there. And he has set routes that he goes to where the sun is, depending on what time of day, where the sun is. And then when he comes down, he can actually turn his back legs around, like sort of the other direction, to help grip the claws as he comes down head first. He's one of the only animals that can actually go down trees head first.
Wow, how incredible. He's just beautiful. So in the wild, they come from Southeast Asia, yeah?
Yeah, Southeast Asia. As I said, not much is known about them. They're quite elusive in the trees because they live in that canopy and they're active whenever they feel like it. It's very hard to study them.
In the wild, what would they eat?
So they eat fruit, vegetables, particularly fruiting trees. So when this fig tree is in fruit, that's where you'll find Emmis up there eating the fruit. But they do have carnassial teeth, which is why they're classified as carnivores, so they can eat some small birds and rodents.
So the carnassial tooth is the tooth, folks, that shears, isn't it? It's the
shearing
upper,
tooth.
I think it's the upper premolar and the lower molar or something like
Getting
that.
quite technical there, I don't know which
But anyway,
one.
they're the shearing teeth, and that's the ones that classify them as carnivores, yes,
Yeah,
right.
so we do feed and offer Emmis some meat. So he gets sometimes some beef, some kangaroo. His favourite is actually rats. Being an older animal, his teeth are quite worn, so he tends not to chew the rat, but put it in his mouth and sort of pull and stretch it, and sometimes eating it whole. And we also feed him a whole different variety of fruit and vegetables, but being an elder animal, he's a little bit fussy. He loves sweet potato, but it has to be cooked just right. His apple has to be cut just the right size because his teeth are a little bit worn, so if it's a little bit too big, he won't eat it. But his all-time favourite food is banana. And when you see him eating a banana, it's really cool because he can put a banana in his mouth, and the way he eats it, he manages to eat the fruit of the banana but spit the skin out. It's a real skill, and he'll do that with kiwi fruit and sweet potato.
That's a party trick, that's for sure.
It is.
There's something really unusual about, and if we had smell-o-vision here, we could share this with you, but tell everyone what the really unusual thing about the scent of a binturong is.
It's one of the best things about Binturong. They smell like buttered popcorn.
They really do. Getting a little waft of it here, corn chippy sort of buttered popcorn smell, it's quite unusual. Why do you think that is?
They actually have some scent glands under their tail, and as they're walking along they can mark their territory with the scent glands, and it either tells other Binturong, please leave this area, it's my territory, or it actually helps them attract a mate. And one of the little bits of research that is happening is they're also thinking that that scent is in their urine, and having cleaned up after him, I can 100% say, yes, that scent is in the urine as well.
Do you smell a little bit like a binturong when you go home, Dan?
Yeah, that's one of the better smells that I smell of some days.
Thank you so much, Dan. This is the fantastic thing about TarongaTV. We get to talk to amazing keepers like Danielle about really unique species that you might just walk past as you're at the zoo. So if you come to the zoo, go behind the elephants, past the langurs, pygmy hippopotamus right behind us here, to the amazing binturong. You never know what's around the next corner. We'll see you next time.